Hi, my name is Zitong Li. I'm a graduate student at Wake Forest University. I'm going to talk about our paper, Parallel Tucker Decomposition with Numerically Accurate SVD. Tucker decomposition is one of the most popular tensor decomposition algorithms. The general idea of this algorithm is that when given a dataset in a tensor form, we can approximate it as the product of a much smaller core tensor and several factor matrices. Tucker decomposition has a wide range of applications, including data compression, machine learning, and signal processing, just to name a few. STHOSVD is one way of doing Tucker decomposition. Its pseudocode is shown on the left here. Basically, we loop through each mode of the input tensor, unfolded into a matrix along this mode, and then do a truncated SVD. Then we multiply the tensor with the leading Rn left singular vectors, reducing its size, and then use this compressed tensor in the next iteration of the for loop. We see that the SVD is an important part of this algorithm. We consider two ways of computing SVD. One we call a gram SVD, shown on the top right. In this approach, you first compute the gram matrix by computing YY transpose, and then do an eigendecomposition of this gram matrix. The other approach we call QR SVD, where you first compute the QR decomposition of Y transpose as sort of a pre-processing step. The SVD is then computed on the triangular factor of the QR decomposition. The gram SVD approach requires less computation than the QR SVD, but it is also less accurate. More specifically, the gram SVD cannot compute singular values that are small relative to the norm of the input matrix. This in turn affects the quality of the truncated SVD because this Rn here, or the number of left singular vectors that we multiply the tensor with, is determined by the singular values computed in the SVD, as you can see in this part. So computing these singular values accurately is very important. This slide shows mathematically how accurate these two approaches compute singular values. The two theorems shown here are standard results from textbooks. In these equations, sigma I stands for the real ith singular value, sigma I tilde stands for the computed ith singular value, and the epsilon is the machine epsilon. So equation 1 describes the relative error in computed singular values in QR SVD. You see that the relative error becomes larger as the singular value that you're trying to compute gets smaller. So equation 2 describes the same relative error in gram SVD. Comparing to QR SVD, the error is increased by the norm of A over sigma I. Again, this means that gram SVD is not as good at computing smaller singular values. And as a result, if you use gram SVD in the overall STHOSVD algorithm, the compression accuracy is limited. We did a MATLAB experiment to demonstrate this numerical difference. We created a matrix with geometrically decreasing singular values that goes from 1 to 1 e minus 18, and we tried using the two approaches with both single and double precision. As we expected, the QRSVD in double precision, as shown in the blue line, you can compute singular values as small as 1 e minus 16. With gram SVD in double precision in the red line, it only accurately computes singular value that is larger than 1 e minus 8, and their respective single precision version is half as accurate. Now I can provide an overview of what we have accomplished. The project builds on top of Tucker MPI, a parallel C++ library designed to compute Tucker decomposition efficiently. And our goal are to improve its accuracy with a reasonable trade-off in time and to achieve speed up when requiring the same accuracy. And we meet both these goals. The original Tucker MPI implements the STHOSVD algorithm with the double precision gram SVD. We implemented the QRSVD in parallel and templated both QR and gram approach so that all four variations that we have shown in the numerical experiments earlier becomes available options. The idea is that with QRSVD in double, we can compute more accurate results. With QRSVD in single, we can achieve speed up. Hopefully you will see at the end that this way the double precision gram which is implemented in the original Tucker MPI, can be replaced in almost every scenario. Before I talk about the implementation, we have to take a quick look at how the data is distributed. First, we organize the processors in tensor format, with each processor owning a block of the whole input tensor. In the top figure, you can see the input tensor divided into blocks owned by each processor. And whenever we want to do a truncated SVD in order to unfold the global tensor, you can think of first unfolding the processor grid and then unfolding the tensor owned by each processor. Note this unfolding is just a mental model that we think is useful, and it does not require any data movement. For the implementation, we will focus on the QR kernel. There are several more important kernels to the ST-HOSVD algorithm that we are not going to cover, since we didn't make any significant modifications to them. To parallelize QR, we adopt the TSQR algorithm, which is communication efficient. It requires a 1D distribution of the input matrix as shown on the top right. So we use the same redistribution method used in the original Tucker MPI to transform the processor grid into this 1D distribution. What it does is just to have processors in the same column communicate and let them exchange the necessary blocks of data. After that, each processor computes a QR on their local matrix, and then they would pair up in two, stack their triangular factors that they get from the local QR on top of each other, and then do a QR on that matrix again. It forms this binary tree pattern, and in the end we have the final triangular factor in the first processor, who will then broadcast the triangle to other processors so that everyone can do the SVD on that triangle independently. Now we can look at the performance results. We ran the following experiments on Andes, which is a large Linux cluster, and each node has two 16-core AMD CPU running at 3 GHz. Now let's take a look at strong and weak scaling tests. We generated a synthetic tensor for strong scaling and weak scaling, so we increased the number of nodes and recorded the performance in terms of wall time for strong scaling. And for weak scaling, as we increase the number of nodes, we are also increasing the data size so that each processor would have the same amount of data to work on, around 1 GB. And since the number of flops required by GRAM-SVD and QR-SVD are different, we recorded the GFlops per core to measure performance. There are a couple points to see here. First of all 4 of these variants scale reasonably well. As we can see in the strong scaling, they scale almost linearly until 32 nodes, or 1024 processors. Also, we're seeing 2x speedup going from double to single precision. As you can see, either going from QR double in the blue to QR single in the yellow, or gram double in the red to gram single in the black. Finally, we see that although QR requires double the flop count to do the same work as gram, the slowdown going from gram double to QR double stays within 2x, as you can see the red and blue lines here. The next 2 slides show experiments that demonstrate how our new algorithm performs on a real-world dataset. This dataset is generated from a numerical simulation of methane air combustion. The data is a 5-dimensional tensor. The first 3 modes represent 3 spatial dimensions. Mode 4 represent different variables in the system, and the last mode represent time steps. In double precision, this dataset is 1.1 terabyte. We did the 4 variations of the algorithm without compression on this dataset and recorded the normalized singular values in these figures. For example, in the first plot we can see 500 singular values computed from doing an SVD on the mode 1 unfolding of the tensor. Note we omitted the singular values of the mode 4 unfolding because it only contains 11 singular values and it is not as meaningful. And we see similar patterns as we have shown in the MATLAB experiments earlier, especially in mode 1. You can see that gram double in the red fails to compute singular values smaller than 1e-8, while QR double is able to compute those values. In this experiment, we tried running STHOSVD on the same dataset with different reconstruction error tolerance, including 1e-2, 1e-4, 1e-6, and 1e-8. With each error tolerance, we recorded actual reconstruction error and the compression ratio in the first plot and the time it takes in the second plot. Generally, as the error tolerance gets lower, the reconstruction error gets smaller. The compression ratio also gets smaller, and the time it takes increases. We can see that if your error tolerance is higher than 1e-2, then gram single is the best, since it gets the same compression and accuracy with the shortest time. However, if your tolerance is lower than 1e-4, then gram single stops working. This is why we're seeing this strange behavior here. Basically, gram single cannot compute singular values accurately enough and thinks that no truncation is possible. So it didn't compress the dataset, and we get the lowest possible error for a single precision, which is slightly lower than the tolerance we set. And we see the same behavior when QR single fails to meet the tolerance of 1e-6. And again when gram double fails to meet the tolerance of 1e-8. The only option that stayed below all these tolerances is QR double. Looking at the time again, for reconstruction error between 1e-2 and 1e-6, QR single is the best option, and when we compare the time it takes between QR single and gram double in this range, we see a speed up of around 50%. The conclusion for this experiment is shown in this table, and basically you should only use gram double, the algorithm originally implemented in Tucker MPI, in this very narrow window. With that, I will stop here on the summary slide. Thank you for your attention, and I'm happy to take any questions.